Today, I want to talk to you all a little bit about money and attitudes about money. And first of all, I just need to just come clean. I tend to be a really frugal person. I've always been kind of a frugal person. And I think maybe that goes back to my childhood. I grew up with three sisters. And when I was growing up, at first it was just the two of us, and then there's an age gap, and then another age gap. But we were supposed to do certain chores around the house, and we got a certain allowance, and we had to use that to pay. Like we were both in a bowling league, and I forget what else we paid out of it, but we paid for that out of our allowance. And so I never liked the feeling of knowing that my sister had more of her allowance money left than what I had. And so perhaps that's the beginning of my frugality, or, maybe it's just my nature. I don't know. But I always liked to kind of plan and have money left over, like in savings. So if something did come up, I wouldn't have to miss out. Um, so fast forward then to my adult life. I became an attorney. My husband's a CPA. We were both, working pretty hard, and then we decided it was time to have kids. So we had kids and got to the point where it was just too much to balance two pretty demanding careers and having kids without like any immediate family to even help out close by. Um, so we made the decision together as a couple that I would be a stay-at-home mom. He would continue his career. Very thankful that that was an option for us, but we did have to make significant changes. I'd worked for a big law firm, and had a decent income, but we decided to step away from that so that we could focus on our family. But to do that, we both still had things that we wanted to provide for financially, with cutting out one of two incomes. So we had to make some choices. We're big Dave Ramsey people, if you know who Dave Ramsey is. He's a faith-based kind of financial guru, all about saving and budgeting and paying off debt and avoiding debt and that kind of thing. So we got into that. We actually even taught some of his courses are called Financial Peace University. So we led is probably a better word than taught some of those classes, which was really good because that helped us stay on track more than just kind of doing it on our own, because we had to be accountable to the groups that we were leading. But we wanted to, still be able to vacation. We love to go out to restaurants. We still wanted to do that. We wanted to live in the same neighborhood. We loved our house. We wanted to be able to send our kids to private school that we had picked out. So we still had some pretty big financial both responsibilities and desires. And so we had to make cuts. I drove a car we bought a minivan when I was pregnant with our second daughter. And we bought that like when I was pregnant, and it didn't quite make it through high school. The transmission finally failed. I think she was a junior, had like 330 some odd thousand miles on it. So like that was a choice. We didn't drive the newer vehicles. We didn't trade in. We drove it till it basically died. I also became really good at saving money. I would coupon. Now, I wasn't one of those like, hey, bonsai. I wasn't one that like did the triple coupons, and I don't know. Some people make a whole art of it. I wasn't quite that, because, if I were going to spend that much time on couponing, I might as well go back to work and just make the money. That was me. I mean, I know some women love it. Some people love it and are really good at it. I would just basically use coupons on things. And eating out has always been a big pleasure of ours. It's something we really enjoy because we use that as social times. And so we got really good at figuring out what the kids eat free nights or days were. And we would decide to eat somewhere because you could get kids to eat free. And at some point, there was a place in Lexington. It was kind of like a fun center, an entertainment complex. And they had bowling and rock climbing and things like that. But on a certain night, you could get any pizza, like an individual pizza you wanted, with as many toppings as you wanted, for $3, like an individual size pizza. And then they had these cups that you could buy, and you got free refills for life. So we all had those cups. And then on this certain night, for each adult entree purchase, you could have two free kids eat, like two kids to eat free. And so, especially if John was out of town, I would take my kids to that every night. I'd be like, look, you only get to play 2 games, but we're going to go and eat there for $3. I think I single-handedly put them out of business because it's not even an entertainment complex anymore. But that's the kind of like manipulations we would do, like to continue to do the things we wanted to do, but at a lower price. My husband would sometimes get irritated because he'd be like, oh, I really want, steak tonight. I'm like, oh, no, tonight is the kids eat free at Chick-fil-A, so we have to go there. Or we would get to a restaurant and he'd be like, okay, I'm going to get, a burger. I'm like, oh, no, no, no. We have a coupon for buy one, get one free pizza. So we're doing that. Like the desire to save money would control where we went to eat, when we went to eat there, and what we could actually eat when we got there. And so sometimes John would be like, it's not even worth going out to eat with all these restrictions. But anyway, so sometimes I could kind of get out of control. And he'd point out, other times when I would really get out of control with trying to save money because, like, maybe it was Christmas time and I knew I wanted to buy such and such from this store because it had the best price. And he's like, why would you drive 20 minutes to the other side of town to save $2 instead of just buying it at the store, which has it a little more? You're going to put miles on the car, you're using gas, and your time is valuable. So I fully admit that sometimes I could get kind of crazy at trying to save money, but it was all because we had a goal of my staying home with the girls. So comment below if you're one that tends to be really frugal, if you buy like those little discount cards to go to restaurants, if you like to use your AAA discount, if you like coupons or the cheap night at the movies, or if you always go to the last matinee of the day instead of paying like evening prices. Like those were things that I kind of lived in that space for a while because we were trying to save money but still do fun things. But I would love for you to comment below if you're one like that, and maybe you're a big couponer. Maybe you join like Sam's and is that Shelley Bonsai or Costco? You buy like the big thing of mayonnaise and the big thing of mustard, to save money or whatever. So I would just love to know like what kind of funny little things that you do or have done in the past to be money conscious. And obviously I think that can be great. I did it and I still do quite a lot of that. Like we don't like debt, charging up things on credit cards and not paying it off, all that kind of stuff. I think can be important, but I did kind of let it take over sometimes. But I'd love to hear below kind of what you do. So relating that to my business, when I started a home-based business, I wasn't really intending to start the business. I fell in love with the product. Those of you that know me know I love ketones and I drink them all the time. I was telling everybody about them anyway. And so it sort of just kind of took on a life of its own. And then the longer I drank it and I knew what it was doing for me and the more stories that I experienced through my customers of ways that their lives had changed for the better, the more I determined that everybody needed what I had and that I was kind of under a moral obligation to tell them. So, and I'm like, well, and if I can get paid for this, then why not? Oh, buy one, get one free Subway. I got a text today from Subway that I could buy 1 foot long, get one free Bonsai. So I'm with you. But anyway, so my home business, I didn't go into it to start a business, but it kind of evolved into one. And then I became more and more intentional because I'm like, I see the potential. I love being an entrepreneur and, the potential freedom for my family, for finances and time freedom and just kind of lifestyle freedom. So loved it, decided to do more and more and like really like go all in. Because it's a product I believe in, it's a company I believe in. So it's just kind of, and it was a perfect timing for me too, because my girls were getting older, getting either in college or getting ready to go to college. And so I needed something to focus on, something that excited me and gave me purpose. So it was just kind of this perfect storm. So my business was born, but my frugal tendencies kind of got in the way because I remember my company had like an event and my company was fairly new. I was one of the first people in it and they were having an event down in Florida and some people were going, well, are you going? Are you going to this event so you can learn more about the products and hear about the science behind it and da 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 da. I so wanted to go. Like I wanted to learn more. I knew that it would help my business to learn more and to know more about the company and the products. And I wanted to go, but I didn't want to pay for it because there's a flight and a hotel and there's a charge for the conference. And I said no, I'll go to those when I start making money. I'm just making a little bit of kind of fun money right now, but when I make enough to justify it, then I'll go. Totally backwards thinking, right? Like who goes into a business thinking I will spend no money and then just suddenly become a millionaire? Like this girl, like just ignorance on fire. I didn't know what I didn't know. And I thought, I'm not making enough to justify that expense. Instead of thinking, hey, I'm trying to start a real business. I've got to invest in it. Like I just wasn't there. And I just thought, I've gotten, customers just by talking to my friends and family. I'll just keep doing that. And so I kind of set my business on a slow growth path because you only have so many friends and family and only so many of your friends and family will be interested in what you have. And I certainly wasn't one that wanted to bug anybody. Like, you either wanted it or you didn't. We're still going to be friends. I'm going to tell you about it because I love it and I love you and I think it would help you. But if you don't want it, that's totally okay. So I refused to go to the trainings. So I had it all backwards. And other things, as my business got larger and then I was kind of expanding, I still didn't want to pay for things. It's like there would be a trade show or a conference where I could set up tables. And I was like, oh, I'd have to pay, $200 to set up a table. I don't really want to do that. Or did I want to get business cards printed? Or did I want to pay someone to help me for things that I didn't really know what I was doing? I didn't know a lot about social media. I think you all know I'm terrible with technology. I didn't really want to pay anybody. So I would watch all these YouTube videos about how to do such and such and how to do social media and how to do this. And I would try to educate myself. But that was a very, very slow process because I'm trying to do it all without paying for trainings, and I'm trying to do it all without paying for expert help when I needed it. So my business grew, but it grew slowly as a result of that, because instead of taking advantage of other people's experience and expertise, I was trying to become an expert in everything myself. And so I understand that I caused my business to grow more slowly because I just took the slower path. And I also experienced watching other team members and friends who had businesses also do the same thing. And sometimes they would get to the point where they would just get discouraged and quit because it was such a slow process to grow, because they didn't want to invest in themselves in personal development. They didn't want to invest in themselves or their business and bet on themselves that they would be successful. Like, you would never think I can start a brick and mortar business without having to pay rent or to buy a building and to pay insurance and to pay, for lights and internet and all those things. And so if you've started a home-based business and you think you don't really ever need to spend money on it, you might want to think about it. Is this a business or a hobby? Because most businesses take a substantial amount of money to invest in, and time. And if you invest more money at the beginning, maybe that can save you more time. And you could do what I did and invest more time at the beginning and saved money. But I got to the point where I'm like, okay, I want it to go faster. So I started paying for trainings. I paid to go to conferences. I paid for help when I needed it. I'm still like building a lot of it myself, but recognizing that sometimes I could go further faster if I used other people as resources and paid for it. And so here's an example that's probably going to show my age more than I'd like, but just think about it like think about your business in terms of like a yard sale. So when my kids were little, they grow out of clothes so fast, and sometimes people give them really cute clothes or I buy clothes, but like, I wanted to get money out of those because I knew, like, sometimes they had cute brand name clothes, but they only wore for a very, very short amount of time. So they looked brand new. So I'd have a yard sale and I'd put them all out there, and like, they wouldn't sell. I'm like, these are really cute clothes. How do I still have these? Well, you're hoping that someone is going to stop by who has kids that are that age, that size and gender that need those clothes, that they have the same taste, and that they happen to be a yard sailor who shows up at your house, right? So the chances of finding my ideal customer, pretty minute. So then we'd be back in the newspaper days when more people got newspapers, we'd put a little classified ad. Okay, we're going to have a yard sale on this date so people can plan ahead, and we're going to have girls sizes, 2T to 4T or whatever it was. So then I'm at least putting it out there, and we would get a little more traffic, because then people who looked at the newspapers, who wanted to go to yard sales, who had girls my ages, and they lived kind of close to me, a little more likely they'd stop by and buy the clothes. But you know how it is at yard sales. Everybody knows it's a yard sale and they expect to pay like bargain prices. So I'd see people pick up something that I know costs $25, a cute little outfit. They wouldn't even want to pay a quarter for it, right? They're like, oh, would you take 10 cents? And so you're like, sometimes out of just sheer principle, I'll be like, no, that's a $25 outfit. It still has the tags on it. I'm not going to take 10 cents. So, that was another level. And then like our neighborhood would start having a neighborhood yard sale where multiple families would be having yard sales. And then the neighborhood itself would advertise the yard sale. So you've got more advertising, you've got more traffic, you've got more people coming by that would then increase the amount of people who are more likely to want what I had. So I saw a little more success in that yard sale when I did it collectively, bigger audience, bigger traffic. But then I discovered consignment sales. So a lot of churches in my area would have kids consignment sales once or twice a year. You had to sign up and pay a fee. It was a lot more work. You had to hang them, the clothes on hangers. You had to have them nice and ironed, and you had to come up with little descriptions and then pin the descriptions to the tag and price it all and whatever. And then a certain percentage of what you got, the church kept. Like that was their fundraiser for mission work or whatever they wanted to use it for. So you'd give up. I don't even remember what the commission was. Maybe half of it went to the church. And it was a lot of work, and you had to get it all ready and organize it by size and by gender and all this stuff. But guess what? Those consignment sales brought in tons, hundreds and hundreds of moms who would line up waiting to buy, because they knew if they had a kid that was a 2T girl and a boy who was, a size 6, that they could go in one place and get, big access to discounted clothes. And so I was able to sell those kid clothes for a lot more, for a higher price, even giving away part of it to the church to be able to participate, because I had traffic, right? I had a great thing to draw people toward what I had to offer. And then inside the church, when they set it up, it would all be organized by gender and sizes. And so then it would funnel people who wanted what I had toward my section of the racks. And so I did that for years. And basically I clothed my kids pretty much for free, because I would buy clothes there at a discount and then sell them. And so back when I was done with them. And so, I really didn't have to spend that much on clothing them, because I would participate in multiple of these consignment sales. But the consignment sale was the great way to bring traffic to me and then to find the people who wanted what I had. Well, that's what an online sales funnel has done for my business. It brings people toward me who are attracted to what I have, and then it funnels through to the people who are willing to purchase my goods or my services. Like, it's brilliant. It's like the consignment sale, except my audience now is the whole world that is connected by the internet. So of course that's going to work. Okay, so if you have a business, whether it's a home-based business, a network marketing business, like this is perfect for you. But maybe you have a more traditional business, like a brick and mortar business, and you can use online sales funnels to draw people toward what you have as well. And so I know with the corona and the pandemic and the quarantine that, a lot of people are kind of wondering what they can do to make their business successful and to build it and keep it strong and maybe even grow stronger. And so I just urge you to consider doing what's called the One Funnel Away Challenge. It only costs $100. So that's like an evening out, and you're not even getting to have evening outs right now. It's $100. It's a 30-day challenge. It takes you from knowing nothing about marketing, nothing about online sales funnels, and then it has you build a sales funnel. And so if you go along with that for the 30 days, see what that can do for your business. Wouldn't you rather have that consignment sale with a huge amount of traffic coming to see what you have, instead of doing a yard sale where you're just kind of hoping somebody's going to walk by that might want what you need and that might be willing to pay super bargain prices for it? Just something to think about. It's been transformational for my business, and so I think it could be transformational for yours. It's only $100. It starts on Monday. You have to sign up by Sunday. I'll put a link below where you can find out more information about it. And if you sign up through my link, then I want to help you through this process, because I know it can be intimidating. I was intimidated when I got started with online marketing. And so it helps to have someone who's already been there kind of guide you through it. So the challenge in and of itself is amazing. It's phenomenal. But having someone who's gone through that, go through it with you and help you, that's 10 times better. So sign up on the link below. I'll post it, and get ready for your life, for your business to change. It's so much fun, and it's so much more efficient of your time and your effort to have a huge worldwide audience find you what you have, and then allow the internet and your sales funnel to bring those people through your process and what you have to offer, so that you can find your dream customer around the world. We have people in South Africa, we have people in England, we have people in Mexico. It's so fun to be able to reach people and not just talk around your geographic area and just hope for the best. I hope that makes sense to you. I would love to help you. Comment below if you want to do this with me. If you have any questions too, if you're not sure if you want to do this, if you just kind of want to talk about it, reach out to me. I would love to talk to you to see if this might be a great fit for you, and then we can get you started together. All right, bye guys. Have a great weekend.